Hello everyone, and welcome to your notes video for Chapter 9, Lesson 1, Circles and Circumference. Your learning target is to be able to find the circumference of a circle. Success criteria, you'll know if you hit your target if you can explain the relationship between the diameter and the circumference of a circle, and if you can use a formula to find the circumference of a circle. In this lesson, vocabulary words you'll need to know is circle, which is a set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a point, and that point is called the center. Oftentimes, in order to draw a perfect circle, you'll use what's called a compass, or you'll take a pin or attach a string to a center location, and then use that string to draw a perfect circle with a pencil or pen or stick, whatever it may be. All right, the radius is the distance from the center point to any point on a circle, and then the diameter is the distance all the way across the circle through the center. Key idea, the diameter of a circle is twice the radius, and the radius of a circle is half the diameter. So knowing that, we want to find a radius and a diameter. If the diameter of the circle is 20 feet, then what's the radius? We would look here, and half of 20 would be 10 feet. The radius of a circle is 7 meters, so find the diameter. So the diameter would be double the radius, so that would be 14 meters. Now it's your turn to try it. The diameter of a circle is 16 centimeters, so find the radius. And the radius of a circle is 9 yards, find the diameter. Then push play once you've got it. Okay, so the diameter of a circle for number 1. Diameter of a circle is 16 centimeters all the way across. So then the radius is going to be 8 centimeters. And so that's for question number 1. And then for number 2, the radius of a circle is 9 yards. And so we want to find the diameter, so that would be double. So the diameter is 18 yards. The next part of the lesson is to understand circumference. Circumference is the distance around a circle. The ratio of the circumference to the diameter is the same for every circle. So there is a proportional relationship here. Its value is represented by the Greek letter pi, and we know that is 3.14. So the circumference C of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter, or pi times twice the radius. So in your notes, these would be the two main things that you would need to write down and remember. Circumference is pi times diameter, or circumference equals pi times 2 of the radius. So knowing that, let's find the circumference of this flying disc. Use 3.14 as an estimation for pi. So circumference equals pi times 2 times the radius. So pi is 3.14 times 2 times a radius of 5. So 3.14 times 2 times 5 is 31.4. And our label was inches. 31.4, again, distance, circumference, all the way around the outside of that circle. Find the circumference of the watch face. So in this situation, we're going to say circumference equals pi times diameter, where diameter is 28 millimeters. So we're going to go pi times 28. That's 3.14 times 28. And 3.14 times 28 is 87.92 millimeters. And that distance is the distance all the way around the watch face. Now it's your turn to try it. Find the circumference of the object using 3.14 or 22/7 to represent pi. Go ahead and pause the video, try these three, and then push play for your answers. So for number 3, it looks like we have the radius. And so to find circumference with radius, we're going to take pi times 2 times the radius. And pi is 3.14. And our radius is also 2. So we'll go 3.14 times 2 times 2. And that's going to put us at 12.56 centimeters. For question number 2, we're going to use the equation circumference equals pi times diameter. So we'll go 3.14 times a diameter of 14. And in this case, 3.14 times 14 is 43.96 feet. And then finally, for number 5, it looks like we'll do circumference equals pi times diameter again. So we'll go 3.14 times 9, and 3.14 times 9 is 28.26. And this is inches. And again, circumference is the distance all the way around these shapes. Example 3 now requires us to find the perimeter of a semicircular region. A semicircle is 1/2 of a circle. So we'll be looking to find the perimeter of this semicircle. Obviously, a full circle, if we could visualize that. Oh, that's a horrible circle. It looks more like an Easter egg. But there's our whole circle. 6 meters, that's our diameter. So let's go ahead and find the circumference of the whole circle. So we'll do circumference equals pi times diameter, 3.14 times 6. So 3.14 times 6 is 18.84. And that is the distance all the way around the circle. But we have a semicircle, which is 1/2. Okay, so really, we're just going to be taking this top part of the circle. In other words, we're going to have to divide 18 by 8.84 by 2. So we get 9.42. 9.42 is the distance around this top half of the circle. We also have this portion of the semicircle, which is 6. So we're going to add that, and we get 15.42. And our label is meters. So to summarize, you're going to find the circumference of the whole circle, divide it by 2, and then add the base, or the diameter. So try it on your own for these 3. Find the perimeter of the semicircle region. Start by finding the circumference of the whole circle, divide it by 2, and then add your diameter. So for this first one, we'll take pi times diameter. So 3.14 times 2 is going to be 6.28. We don't have the full circle, right? We only have half. So we're going to divide this by 2, which is 3.14. And then we're going to add 3.14 plus 2 to get 5.14 feet. For number 7, we'll go circumference equals pi times radius. 3.14 times 7 is 21.98. We'll divide that by 2 because we only have half of a circle, So we have 10.99, and then we're going to add the diameter of 7 to get 17.99 centimeters. And for this last one, 8, our formula changes a bit because it becomes pi times 2 times radius. Pi is 3.14 times 2 times 15. So 3.14 times 2 is 6.28 times 15 is 94.2. We'll divide that by 2 because we have a semicircle. And we get 47.1. And then we add the diameter. The whole diameter is 30. So we get 77.1 inches. So for number 4, we're modeling real life. The circumference of a roll of caution tape decreases by 10.5 inches after a fighter uses some of the tape. Remember, the circumference is the distance around the circle, and the circumference originally was 31.4. So we're going to start by going 31.4 minus 10.5. When we do that, we're going to get 20.9 inches. So the 20.9 inches for circumference, that is our new circumference. And obviously the roll itself is going to be a little bit smaller now. So now we'll use our equation. Circumference equals pi times 2 times the radius. We know that our new circumference is 20.9 times pi times 2 times the radius. So now we're just going to solve. 3.14 times 2 is 6.28. So we have 6.28r equals 20.9. And now we're going to divide both sides by 6.28. So 20.9 divided by 6.28 is 3.33. And our label would be inches. And the question says, what is the radius of the roll after the fighter uses the tape? And that's what we got. 3.33 inches is our new radius. And radius is from the center to any point of the circle. Now for this last one, you try it. The wheels of a monster truck are 66 inches tall. So 66 inches, that's going to end up being your diameter of a circle. Find the distance the monster truck travels when the tires make one 360-degree rotation. That's going to be your circumference. So go ahead and pause this. Use the equation circumference equals pi times diameter in order to figure out how far the truck will travel every time the tires turn once. Then push play when you're ready. So we know that pi is 3.14, and we know the diameter is 66 inches. So to find the circumference, we're just going to multiply 3.14 times 66, and we get 207.24 inches per rotation. And that wraps up your notes for lesson 1 from chapter 9. If you have any questions, please let your teacher know. Hope you have a good day.